Where did dreams come from? The Jungians might say, for one finds that many dreams present images and associations that are an analogy to primitive ideas, myths, and rites. That's what we want to explore today, is what is a dream and what are those elements? So I hope you stick with us here on Circle Theory. Thanks for sticking with us today. I appreciate it. I'm excited to get into this one. If you enjoy, please like, subscribe, share, follow us on Twitter. You can find all of this stuff below this window. But let's hop into dreams, because this is interesting and mysterious stuff, right? So when we're diving into this idea, Freud said that these dream images were called archaic remnants. The paraphrase suggests is that they are psychic elements surviving in the human mind from ages long ago. We talk about this in a video on the meaning of symbols, which I suggest you check out. But this is interesting. So I'll give an example, and this is probably impossible to prove if it is even close to true. But when I was a kid, I watched a documentary, deeply impactful. It was on dragons, right? And the question was, across the globe, we saw dragons appear in cultures at the same time. From China to the Mayans to Western culture, we see depictions of dragons, but these cultures weren't connected. How did they have the same mythological monster appear? The suggestion was that there's a remnant in each species of their instinct of their predators. The animals they don't need to be taught to be afraid of predators. Birds are afraid of cats. Period. That's just the deal. In early proto-humans, the predators would have been large birds, large snakes, big cats. You put those all together, you create an archaic remnant that comes forth in a moment of realization and creation. We have the dragon, right? So it's come up from within us in our past. Or at least that's the idea here for the Jungians. They continue by saying we should understand that dream symbols are for the most part manifestations of a psyche that is beyond the control of the conscious mind. Meaning and purposelessness are not the prerogatives of the mind. They operate in the whole of living nature. There is no difference in principle between organic and physical growth. As a plant produces its flower, so the psyche creates symbols. Every dream is evidence of this process. We talk about this in our video on the dreaming unconscious with Campbell, but this is a neat idea, right? That this is the process of psychological development, that just as a plant buds, we create symbols. The natural state of a conscious mind is the creation of meaning through processing what the existentialists would suggest is meaninglessness. That the creative act is one in which we are able to summon that internally, process that through the psyche, and assign a symbol to it. And this is what a dream is, at least for you. But as far as one can make out from dreams, the unconscious makes its deliberations instinctively. Logical analysis is the prerogative of consciousness. We select with reason and knowledge. The unconscious, however, seems to be guided chiefly by instinctive trends, represented by corresponding thoughts forms, that is, by archetypes. A doctor who is asked to describe the course of an illness will use such rational concepts as infection or fever. The dream is more poetic. It presents the diseased body as man's earthly mind as a house, and the fever as the fire that is destroying it. So if you think about it, the idea here is that the unconscious is the primitive brain. This is the part of the brain that is just purely instinctual. It is in tune with the body, with the systems, with the organs, with instinctual fears of predators, with those things that we just know about someone in the back of our mind, but we can't put words to. All of that is homed here. And a part that doesn't have logic and reasoning. It only has symbols. And so it has to use those to try to communicate with the mind, with our consciousness. And it does that through dream images. And so that's why I find a lot of value in studying art. In The Witcher, which is a series I've been exploring on this channel, the question is, what are these remnants, what are these buds and symbols and meanings that have been processed within this author's mind to create this art? That's some fun stuff to think about. And so when we create something, the question is why? I used to have an art professor that would say, the worst thing an artist can do is use an eraser, because the thing that matters most are your mistakes, because that's your unconscious trying to speak to you. So try to listen. Figure out what it's trying to say. I hope to catch you next time here on Circle Theory.
I'm a type of motherfucker that'll check the check through the math.